Hello, everybody. Ian, Starship Adventures, and we are live tonight from Southwest Florida, from Starship Studios in North Fort Myers, and we're about to have the Cape Coral Gabfest, which is a amateur radio net here in Southwest Florida, and this radio net is a simplex net, meaning that it actually takes place radio to radio. There is no internet or repeaters or any of that kind of stuff. It all goes on basically radio to radio, and that's what makes this net really, really cool. All right, there we go. I had to null my sound out there. That's a little bit better. Okay, you're hooked up to the radio. We're on 146.520 megahertz, which is where I'm sorry, that's the calling frequency. I need to shift this over here. Give me just 1 second. We're going to shift this over to the right frequency to make sure we're there on time. And we're going to the blue simplex frequency, which is 490, 146, 490. So let's go ahead and adjust this to 490. There we go. Now we're on frequency. This is in the simplex calling area of the 2-meter band. And tonight, I'm going to be net controlling myself, so you'll be able to hear this from a unique point of view here. All right, the net's going to start in about 4 minutes. I'm working on getting a chat room up, so give me just a second here. The flight data tracker and the radar you're seeing are live. We're tracking some pretty strong weather here. Moving into North Florida from Alabama right now, and that's what we're seeing on the screen. All right, like I said, I'm pulling this up. I want to be able to see you guys in the chat room, so just give me just a second to pull up the live stream screen of this. And we'll be able to see what's going on in there. Oh, that's just great. I love when it gives me the little monkey and says, something went wrong. Yeah, I get that. Something went wrong. Yeah. I kind of got that. All right, so tonight we've got the big eclipse. There's a lunar eclipse going on tonight, and I hope that everybody knows that that's coming up and is ready for it. Now, I will admit it's an absolute shit time. There's nothing that can be done about that, obviously. These things are something that we don't schedule, so it is what it is. All right, I've got the chat room up. Hey, car, CQ. Carlotta Alada's my wife. Check her channel out, Carlotta Alada. We're going to be doing the net here in about 2 minutes, and I am net control tonight, so I'm going to be actually doing the talking on the net. So here we go. This ought to be interesting. I've actually... I don't think I've ever done this particular net before, but I've done a number of different nets, so this is not that big a deal. In ham radio, we have what we call the script or the preamble, and what that basically is the thing you're supposed to kind of read, and the kind of schedule that you should go by, basically the operating guidelines. It's just basically each operator can kind of do his own thing a little bit too, but it's good to kind of stay to the script to make sure you don't miss anything. And so tonight they sent me the script, and I'm going to be using that. I've added a few things to it, and added the topics for tonight and stuff like that. So is anyone using this frequency? This is KO4EFS net control for the Cape Coral Gabfest. We'll be starting the Gabfest in 1 minute. All right, there we go. I've made the announcement. I asked if the frequency was in use, which is something we're supposed to do, because the one thing you really got to not do when you're a ham person is go out there and interfere with someone else's conversation. That's kind of a thing. So we just ask, is there anyone using this frequency? A lot of nets will start out with, is there any emergency traffic and all that? We kind of keep it simple, especially on this net here. We'll keep it a little more simple for tonight. We got a few people tuning in out there. I hope it's some of you guys that are going to be also on the net with us tonight. If you're in the Southwest Florida area, you can join us on 146.490. That's on VHF. That's Simplex. You don't need any kind of tones or anything else to get us on that frequency. So that's pretty cool. What the hell happened to my... There we go. All right, so here we go. CQ. Welcome to the Cape Coral Gabfest. My name's Ian. Call sign Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Foxtrot Sierra. That's KO4EFS for the rest of us. I'll be your host this evening for the Cape Coral Gabfest, Southwest Florida's premier Simplex Radio Net. I am in North Fort Myers. I'm operating from a 40-foot tower, and I'm transmitting at 25 watts, and I'm in central North Fort Myers. We meet every Thursday night right here on the 146.490 megahertz frequency, and that is Simplex, and it is at 8 p.m. local time. On Thursdays, let's see, I want to welcome any and all hams to join us. You do not need to be a member of the Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club or a member of anything to join this other than have an amateur radio license. After check-in, we will go through 2 rounds of comments, so please remember to stick around for the second round. As always, you may discuss anything you like, but on tonight's net, the topic will be solar and lunar eclipses. As many of you know, we have a lunar eclipse tonight. And the lunar eclipse is in the wee hours of the morning, but we will be talking about that. Let us know tonight how many lunar eclipses you've seen, full lunar eclipses, and how many of the very rare solar eclipses you've seen. And then you can let us know if you plan to see the August 22nd, 2044 full solar eclipse that's coming through the state of Florida. So let us see. That's going to be our topic for tonight. Let's see who we've got out there. This is KO4EFS. Again, my name is Ian. I'm in North Fort Myers, and I'm now looking for check-ins to the Cape Coral Gabfest. Check-ins to the Gabfest. Come now.
W8 KZT Rick.
JF6 FJD Mike.
Kilo 1 Charlie Juliet Victor Harbor.
W4 RIC Rick in Cape Coral.
Okay, let's get who we've got. I've got Whiskey 8 Kilo Zulu Tango Rick, Kilo Foxtrot 6 Foxtrot Juliet Victor Mike, and I've got Whiskey 4 Romeo Indigo Charlie Rick in Cape Coral. I do need one fill, Kilo 1 Charlie, if you could give me the rest of your call and your name and location.
This is Kilo 1 Charlie Juliet Victor Carmine Cape Coral.
All right, Carmine and Cape Coral, I got you. All right, let's take further check-ins to the Cape Coral Gabfest.
Net control. KB4AR, Angelo, North Fort Myers. Net control, KN4, YYB. Net control, KI4, GED, Charles.
All right, very good. I got Whiskey 4 Romeo Indigo Charlie. Rick, I've got Kilo Bravo 4 Alpha Romeo Angelo in North Fort Myers. Kilo November 4 Yankee Bravo. And I've also got Kilo Indigo 4 GED Golf Echo Delta Charles in East Fort Myers. Any more check-ins? All right, very good, guys. Sponsored tonight by the Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club. This is our big Simplex net here, and boy, we do love the Simplex net. Gives us all a chance to exercise our antennas and our radio equipment out here. Thanks, guys, for letting me be net control tonight. I haven't done this in several years. Last one I did was the Sunshine Net about 2 years ago. So forgive me for being a little rusty. I was a dispatcher for a while earlier in life, and it does kind of help to be comfortable with the radio. Tonight we're going to be talking solar eclipses, so I'm going to come down through. If we missed you on the first round, we'll give you a shot right at the end of the first round and before we start the second round. So thank you, everybody, for being here. This is the Cape Coral Gabfest 146.490 Simplex, and we're going to go ahead and start at the top of the list with Whiskey 8 Kilo Zulu Tango. Rick.
Well, hey, good evening, everybody. Sounds like we got a good roundup. Carmine, great to hear you in here, buddy. Glad to have you in. Just want to go by the eclipses. I probably experienced all of the eclipses from even from in grade school. I can remember we went out to poke a hole in a little piece of paper just to be able to see it on the ground or on your hand, just what it looked like, and certainly have experienced them all. I just was outside looking at the moon tonight here. It is an absolute full moon. It was no clouds around it and looking really good, so it's probably a good high probability of being able to see the eclipse really nice. I think it's going to be sometime mid in the night, so around 3 or so. So be looking forward to hearing everybody else's experiences, but we definitely have seen a lot of them. So thanks for taking the net tonight, Ian. Doing a great job so far. This is W8KZT.
All right, Rick, thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, it's going to be perfect viewing in Southwest Florida tonight. I spoke personally to Matt Devitt earlier, and he said it's absolutely going to be perfect tonight. So that's good news. The bad news is it's going to be hard to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but if you've never seen one of these, you definitely got to do it. All right, let's go to the next on the list. Mike, KF6FJV, you're next up.
Roger. Yeah, I don't think I missed an eclipse since probably 1966, and they're always fun to watch. And the cool thing about them is that a lot of times as people, we get caught up in our little part of the world where we live and make money and do our stuff. But when you look up into the heavens and you see another planet, it kind of puts things in perspective and how we're part of this whole big old solar system and universe. And it's always an opportunity to kind of do that, right? To get a different perspective of life. Anyways, back to net control. This is KF6FJD.
All right. KF6FJV. Mike, thank you very much. Stand by for the second round. Next, we're going to go to our club president, Carmine, Kilo 1, Charlie, Juliet, Victor. Carmine, how you doing this evening? All right, yeah, Carmine, I told Matt, I said, they could have scheduled this one better. I really wish there would be one where it was just starting right as it's going down, but it normally doesn't work that way. I've seen a lot of these lunars. I've seen 2 solar eclipses, and I drove to both of them with my family. Our family's kind of made it a thing. And I plan on being around for that one in 44. So we'll have to see how that goes. Let's go to Rick, who's next up on our list. Whiskey 4 RIC. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing well. This is Rick W4RIC, and this is my first time on the net and enjoying it, and just about how our Simplex is working, and appreciate everybody being here, and back to net.
All right, Whiskey 4 RIC. It's nice to have you in, and yeah, I tell you, man, this has been one of my favorite nets for years now because of that aspect. This is the net that got me into antenna building. I wanted to be a part of this net, and so I started building antennas and putting up painters poles and driving my wife nuts. This is where it all started, was this net. So there you go. Let's go to next on the list, Angelo in North Fort Myers, KB4AR. Good evening, sir.
Oh, good evening, Ian. Good evening, Matt. KB4AR. Well, there again, not much going on here. I don't age up work and few new countries, but as far as eclipses go, I've seen a lot of solar eclipses, although never a total one. And the lunar eclipses, well, I worked outside for 25 years of my working career, so I've seen a lot of lunar eclipses too. So always an impressive sight to see. And I'm not going to be up for this one tonight. I'll be down.
I don't blame
you.
KB4AR, I don't blame you. I don't think I'm going to be up for this one tonight either, unless I just happen to be up during that time window. I might walk out and take a peek, which is what happened last time this happened. So there you go. All right, hang in for the second round. Let's go to Fred, KN4YYB. Fred in North Fort Myers, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Good evening to you and everybody on the net. I'm doing fine, thank you. I've seen a couple of them. It'd be kind of interesting to see this one. I'll probably be up. I've been staying up late at night on the Triple H net, so I'll probably be out there. Sounds real interesting, so that's all I got for this round. I'll give it back to you in KN4 while I be back to net.
All right, KN4YYB, KO4EFS. Thank you for being here tonight, Fred. We really appreciate that. This is the Cape Coral Gabfest. The next up is the person who's been keeping this net going for many, many years. Thank you, Charles. Charles in East Fort Myers, KI4GED. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Well, good evening, Ian, and everyone on the net. Thanks for doing the net tonight, Ian. Doing a good job. Appreciate that for sure. And let's see. I think next week, I think Rick is going to take it. Let's see. That'd be. Let's see, Rick, KB4RAB, K4RAB, I think. I don't think he was on yet tonight, but I think he's going to do it, hopefully. And let's see, Carmine, I couldn't hear you at all. I'm not sure what direction. I tried to get you out there, but I couldn't find you. It's good hearing Fred again for sure. Good hearing everybody. I can't keep up with the ones I watch. Sometimes we'll go out there and watch them. Sometimes I may try to wake up tonight, and see if I can see what's going on. I don't think I'll stay up that late, though, but we'll try and see what happens. So that's it for this round. I'll send it back to you, Ian. KO4EFS, this is KI4GED.
All right, KI4GED, KO4EFS. Good hearing from you this evening, Charles. I really appreciate you coming in. And let's see if we can find a new tail gunner. Also, if anyone hears anybody that I don't hear, please relay. I'm only at 40 feet here. I might miss somebody. I also have a little bit of a noise floor here too, so just let me know if I miss anybody. This is the Cape Coral Gabfest, sponsored by the Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club on 146.490 Simplex. If you'd like to check in now, please.
Net control. This is W4CFS Coral in Southwest Cape Coral.
Kilo 4, Romeo Alpha Bravo.
November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel, John and Matt Lachey.
There we go. Picked up the rest of the crew. All right, we got Rick, K4RAB, Whiskey 4 CFS Carl in Southwest Cape, and also November 6th, Juliet Alpha Hotel, John and Matt Lachey. Did I miss anybody?
November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel.
Gotcha. Juliet Delta Hotel. Gotcha. All right, I got it changed in my log here. All right, thanks, John. I appreciate that. Anybody else? Anybody hear anything I'm not hearing? Alrighty, let's spin the wheel again and go back to the top. This is the Cape Coral Gabfest. We're going to go back to the top of the list and check in for the second time with Rick. Whiskey 8, Kilo Zulu Tango. Go ahead, Rick.
Well, thanks, Ian. Hey, it's great to hear everybody else on coming on here. John, Carl, and Charles, it's always good to hear you. And I just wanted to put in a couple of 2 cents. I wasn't on HF a whole lot this week, but yesterday
I screwed up.
Get on 20 meters and did a POTA from North Texas, and I decided to hook up my R8, which is a vertical, and which it covers 40 meters. And I was able to get a guy in Georgia up there with no problem. And 40 meters wasn't too very busy last night either. And 20 meters was just about dead. But that's about what I've done there. But the other thing is I wanted to mention Fred, KN4YYB. He's got a really nice telescope, and hopefully he'll elaborate on what he's going to be able to see with that telescope on his next round. This is W8KZT, Rick from Northwest Cape. Back to you, Ian.
All right, Rick, I appreciate that. And I have to admit, as net control now, I have had a breach of protocol here. Sorry, guys. I should have continued with the list until I got to the end. That's my bad. Rick, we've got you on the second already, Rick. I appreciate that. I do need to finish the first round. Let's go to Whiskey 4, Charlie Foxtrot Sierra. Carl in Southwest Cape. First round for you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Before CFS returning, good evening, Ian, and everybody else on the net. Good to be back. Now, I couldn't figure out why the net was starting late, and then I happened to look over and see that my antennas weren't hooked up. So that, along with things like talking into the back of the microphone, speaks a lot to my expertise in ham radio. Not too much to report. Last week I dealt with kidney stones and went past that, and today we're working on the income taxes. And I can't tell you which one is more fun, really.
I'm on a radio net. I'm hosting a radio net.
All that aside, it's
so I have to go.
everything's doing good. Just before I brewed myself a cup of coffee, I looked out the back window and watched the full moon over the water. Boy, it sure was nice. So we had the full moon over the water, and the XYL cooked up a good supper tonight, and I enjoyed that. Walking around upright, vertical, so I guess
I'll get
okay.
with you guys, okay?
Life is good. So I'm going to turn it back to net. Good to hear everybody. This is W4CFS back to net.
All right, thanks, Carl. I appreciate that. Got people knocking on the door and everything here. It's crazy at my house right now. All right, let's see. And then I got, next up is Rick, Kilo 4, Romeo Alpha Bravo, Rick in Fort Myers. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, this is K4RAB. I think this stupid, worthless time change chased all the cockroaches out of the cupboards. It's ridiculous. Just as I got on here, got some scam phone caller, which I slammed the phone up on. But anyway, things are okay here. I think I might just be able to stay up tonight and watch the red moon. I'm looking forward to it. So it'd be an interesting event to see. But anyway, I'm doing all right. I haven't been on HF as much this week, but maybe soon. But we had a contest a couple of weeks ago, but maybe next month. I don't know what's on store for next month for contests, but I'm going to try to get on and operate some of them if there's anything there. Probably some state QSO parties and stuff like that. I like to play with those. So anyway, right now I think I need to raise my antenna. I'm only at about 20 feet above the ground, so it needs to go at least another 10 feet up, because I couldn't hardly hear Carmine, and there's a number of other stations I couldn't hear before I turned the squelch way down. So Anyway, thanks, Ian, for running the net. So back to you, K4REB.
Yeah, I'm looking at the contest calendar. I don't see anything that jumps out at me here. There is contests this weekend, a bunch of them, but there's none of the. I don't see any of the real big ones. But yeah, I'll go through them later. We'll see what we can find. Thanks, Rick. K4RAB, K04EFS here, net control for the Cape Coral Gabfest, and our current tail gunner, John and Matt Lachey, November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, thank you, Ian, net control. I did the exact same thing Carl did. I'm one standing here going, why is nobody hearing me? And thankfully I was only touching the push to talk briefly, and then I looked around and I said, hey, you know how to hook my antenna up. But anyway, I had a whirlwind of a day. I was back and forth from Georgia, wheels off the ground and back on the ground in 5 hours. And then I went out and did a POTA, and I actually broke my record up at Babcock. I had 306 QSOs, and I just broke it with 318. So I had a sort of a busy day today. But anyway, I always enjoy this net, and thank you, Ian, for taking net control tonight.
Wow, that's amazing. I get 20 or 30 at a park, and I think I'm doing pretty good. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun when you're the pilot. It can be a lot of fun. And with that logging software I got on my tablet, I've gotten pretty quick with it, and that POTA can be a lot of fun. All right, let's check one more time. If you guys let me know if you hear anything, let's check for a new tail gunner. Is there anyone else that's joined us here on the Cape Coral Gabfest on 146-490? Come now.
Net control. This is Whiskey 6, Whiskey Mobile.
All right, Whiskey 6, a whole bunch of Whiskeys Mobile. We got you. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, everybody on the net. This is Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey. Let's see. We just got out of the VE session here. 2 upgrades. One upgrade to General, one to Extra. And actually, they are both hams that are just getting back into it. The one guy was originally he got his novice back in the 60s, and it was at the time that they expired after a year, and you couldn't renew a novice. You had to advance to the next level, which I guess would have been tech at that time. And then the other guy, I think it had been a while too. He upgraded to Extra. So, yeah, good night, and glad I was able to catch the end of the net here. And thank you for taking the net, Ian. Yeah, I can hear you real good. I'm in Norfolk Myers right now. We are testing at the Church of the Nazarene off of Bayshore Road, where the club meetings are going on too. So that's probably why we can hear each other so pretty good. So anyways, this is Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey. Back to net.
Yeah, if I was on the tower, I'd wave at you on the way by. You're pretty close. That's where the Eagles are right there. The Dick Pritchett Eagles. The Eagle Cam and all that. All right, Tim, thank you very much. That's Whiskey 6, Triple Whiskey, our tail gunner. All right, let's go to the top of the list. I've already got Rick, Whiskey 8, KZT. So let's go to KF6, FJV. Mike, you're next up. Go ahead, sir. Second round.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, nothing really more to add. Just enjoying the net. Enjoying your YouTube channel, Starship Adventures, and listening to everybody on YouTube, including myself. Ian, you're doing a great job. So back to net control. This is KF6 FJD.
Yeah, it's a little different tonight. I started a few minutes early to let everybody know what was going on YouTube. They're not used to hearing me on here as the net controller, so I've been broadcasting a lot of different nets, the Sunshine Net, some stuff off the NI4CE, the Sanibel Net on Sunday nights. There's been a bunch of them I've been trying to put out on YouTube to get this in front of more and more people out there. All right, speaking of the president of the club, next up, Carmine, K1CJV. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Ian, thank you very much for taking the net tonight and doing a great job. Exciting to see the net
All right, very good, Carmine. For those having a hard time reading, he the space station made a pretty close pass, and he was able to hear him making contacts there with the space station. But I guess there wasn't room for him to get in there. But that's what he's got going on. That's something I haven't done yet. Is I like to receive the SSTV stuff from the space station. I do that a lot, but I haven't actually put the rig together to talk to him yet. And I had a good time out at Field Day watching you guys do that over there on the football field, talking to the space station. That was a lot of fun. All right, thank you, Carmine. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the hospitality the club has shown to me and everybody, doing a lot for ham radio. And let's go next to Rick, Whiskey 4 RIC. Hey, Rick, what you doing this evening?
This is Rick, W4RIC, and just enjoying the conversations here on the net. Appreciate you taking it and being net control, Ian, and it makes things happen. Just sitting here looking at the moon, and it's beautiful, and I'm not going to stay up and watch the event tonight because I have seen others before, and I need my sleep more than I need to watch the moon. So y'all have a good evening. I'm going to say my 7-3s, and this is W4RIC back to net.
All right. W4RIC, yeah, I get it. Unless I just happen to be up, which I'm having a hard time sleeping right now, so I might be up. But other than that, I'm certainly not setting an alarm. If I'm getting some sleep, I'd rather have that. All right, let's go to Angelo, KB4AR. Angelo in North Fort Myers, you're next up, sir.
Good evening, everybody, again. KB4AR. Hey, yeah, I'm not sure if I've got much more to say. I'm going to try and get a radio installed in the next couple days in my truck. So I should have my Jeep and truck all set up and ready to go, and that'll be nice. Anyway, I'll say 7-3s to the net, and I'll just listen in. KB4AR, back to net.
All right, KB4AR, good talking to you this evening. And let's see, next up is Fred, KN4YYB. Fred, it's up to you. Go ahead.
That's the KN4YYB. Not much, really, I don't see much use taking that scope out. It's a 10-inch Dobbs. I think you could probably see just as much just looking at it because it's so close. Other than that, ham-wise, I did make contact with a Mexican girl down in Mexico City today. Other than that, not much else going on. I'll get back to you. KO4EFS is KN4YYB.
All right, KN4YYB, KO4EFS. Appreciate you coming on the net tonight. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of HF lately. My hex beam is in the yard, and we're actually restringing the 12 meters on it right now. But I've been having a blast with this radio and this antenna that I'm talking to you on right now, making 200-mile contacts. So I talked to Key West, and I talked north of Cedar Key on the same day. It was crazy. So some crazy band openings. I used that vhf.dxview.org. It's also, if you're watching us on the website, it's the upper right corner of the video. Is that, and right now there is none. There's no propagation at all right now. But when that thing opens up and it turns red, man, you can talk to everybody. It's great. All right, let's go to East Fort Myers and to Charles, KI4GED. It's your turn, Charles.
Thank you, Ian, and good evening again to everyone. Well, Carl, I hope you get over that kidney stone deal. I still got to do the taxes, too. I'm not looking forward to that for sure, but it's got to come up for sure. And I did the same thing, came on, I forgot to turn the remote antenna switch on, wondering why everything was so quiet. So it happens quite often there, forgetting this and forgetting that. Well, it's good hearing everybody, and thanks for the update on the VE this afternoon, the VE session, Tim. I don't have anything else much to add, so I'll say 7-3. Have a safe week. Look forward to hearing everybody again next week. KO4EFS, this is KI4GED.
All right, KI4GED, KO4EFS. Thanks for coming in tonight, Charles. Yep, and I like doing this, man. I'll do it anytime you guys need me to do it. No worries. No worries at all. All right, let's go to the next one. Carl in Southwest Cape, W4CFS. Go ahead, Carl.
KO4EFS is W4CFS. Okay, not too much more to add to it. Doing a great job as net control. It's appreciated by all, I'm sure. Not too much more to add. I hope everybody has an enjoyable evening outside with the moonshine. No, that doesn't sound right. Watching the lunar eclipse, yeah. Leave the moonshine on. And looking forward to seeing everybody next week, or hearing everybody next week. And Charles, yes, the kidney stone thing is literally and figuratively past, so good riddance. It wasn't much fun, but all's well now. Okay, everybody have a good week, and catch you all next week. This is W4CFS, back to net.
All right, W4CFS, Carl. Thanks for coming in. Let's go to Rick, K4RAB. Rick in Fort Myers. Your turn, sir.
Okay, it's K4RAB. Watch it with that white lightning. We'll have enough lightning in this area here soon enough as it is. Give it another 2 months and it'll be starting. So anyway, yeah, I can hear most everybody, but some of the signals are weak. But I think the solution is probably for me to raise my antenna. I can put a couple more 5-foot poles under it and raise it up a little higher. But yeah, it's great to hear everybody. Thanks again, Ian, for running the net. And it was a little bit of a struggle for me to get here. I'm still adjusting a bit from this idiot time change, but I don't want to get into that. But anyway, glad everybody's here and doing okay. So anyway, back to net, K4REB.
All right, Rick, thanks for coming in. You know, a quick piece of trivia. I keep wondering why nobody wants to fix this time change problem. 75% of us think changing the clocks back and forth is absolutely ignorant. So, anytime 75% of us agree on anything, you would think, hey, this is something we could do, right? But here's the problem. Of the 75% of us, 60% want it on daylight savings time and 40% want it on standard time. So technically it's a three-way split. There is no clear majority in any of the three directions. This will never get changed in our lifetime. I know it sucks, guys. I've run the math. I've talked to the people. I'm telling you, we're going to deal with this one for the rest of our life because there's three camps and they all have about 33% of the votes, or give or take, and you're never going to get it changed. Okay, next up, John and Matt Lachey, November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel. Go ahead, sir. I'm not hearing anything. Can anybody hear John?
Negative.
All right, let's give another call. John, N6JDH. John and Matt Lachey, you out there? No problem. I'll try him again here at the end. We're almost to the end of the list anyway. Let's go to our tail gunner, Tim in Fort Myers. Whiskey. 6 whiskey. Go ahead.
Whiskey 6 triple whiskey here. Yeah, we're back at Fort Myers now, just across the bridge. Yeah, on the way home here. So we only had two test takers today, and I wonder if A4JS is probably on here. You might pick him up as the next tail gunner. But yeah, good session. Good. We actually had John. It was good to see John back. If you're listening, John, it was good to have you back. Always good having you there. So yeah, good session. And everybody passed, so everybody's happy. This is Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey. Oh, let's see. Hold on 1 second here. Let's see. Is there a swap shop this weekend?
It was last weekend, I think.
Ah, darn. Okay. Well, I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next weekend after this weekend. Whatever that is. Yeah. Basically 2 weeks from 9 days, Steve. So, see y'all 9 days. It's fun. Whiskey 6, triple whiskey 73, everybody.
All right, Tim, thank you, and have a good night. Whiskey 6, whiskey, Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra. You know, I'm just looking at the calendar, and yeah, it's the 22nd. It's the 2nd and 4th, I think, is what it is now. Yeah, so we're a week and 2 days away from the next swap shop. I plan to be there, trying to get Joseph down to go too, so we can dig through all that feed line and maybe buy that set of cans. Let's see if John AA4JS, are you out there? All right, shot in the dark. I figured I would take it. Anyone else want to check in? Anyone else for the Cape Coral Gabfest on 146 490 megahertz Simplex? Last call for check-ins on the Cape Coral Gabfest. Hearing nothing, does anybody have anything else they'd like to add?
You have a late check-in. Late check-in, go ahead. Okay, Ian, it's Mark. He's on an HT. It's KM4. I think he said Bravo Foxtrot Echo. Is that correct, Mark? Okay, I'm writing with a pencil here, so sometimes it kind of scribbles instead of writes on. So yeah, it was Mark. You have anything to add for the net this evening? The topic was how many eclipses have you participated in and viewed over the years, and if you're going to be watching the one this evening.
Yeah, he's too far on an HT. He's in the Cape, somewhere over in the Cape, Northwest Cape. So
well, hello from everybody else, Mark. I'm sure they can't hear you because you're on an HT. But Mark says he didn't think he would be up this evening for watching that one. So he did get involved, I guess, a little bit with the International Space Station. But other than that, that's what he's got going there. So his call is KM4, Bravo Foxtrot Echo. And I'll turn it back to Ian, KO4EFS. Go ahead.
All right, thanks. I really appreciate the relay on that. KM4BFE, I've got you, Mark, in the log. Thank you for participating tonight. Always welcome to check in. If you want some, ideas on some cheap antennas, get with me. Send me an email. I'll show you how to build one. I got some great videos. I want to help you get going. All right, everybody. Anybody have anything else? Last call. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to be your net controller this evening. My name's Ian, and this is KO4EFS in North Fort Myers, closing the Cape Coral Gabfest, everybody. Have a good evening out there and a pleasant tomorrow, and we'll see you on the next net. I plan to definitely be there on Sunday for the Sunday night Sanibel net at 7:30 on the Sanibel repeater. So make sure you make that one, and we'll see you guys down the log. KO4EFS clear.
Yeah, just a note for everybody. This is W8KZT. Next week, the net controller will be Rick, K4RAB. So we'll be looking forward to having Rick host the net for next week. Good evening to everyone from W8KZT.
Well, good night, everyone, and thanks again to Ian. This is KI4GET 73.
Yeah, great job, Ian. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. 7-3's good night. KO4EFS.
Yeah, Mark, are you still in there? KM4BFE W8KZT. Yeah, you must not be too far from me. I'm here on 5th Terrace off of Santa Barbara, just north of Pine Island. Well, super. Yeah, I did. Were you able to hear Ian pretty good? Oh yeah, you get an antenna up and you'll be able to copy everybody. Yeah, you won't have any problem at all. But yeah, that thing really has a really clear audio and sounds pretty good. That's for sure. That is for sure. So what are you going to be putting up? Was it one of the 510s, the three section job?
I'm going to hang in here with this for just a few minutes, guys. He's helping him out with some antenna stuff, like I offered as well. Because,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I had one of those too before I upgraded to the 510, and it worked pretty good for me.
You got to try to help people get going. The thing with ham radio is you can buy radios all day long, but if you don't put an antenna up high enough and it's good enough, you're not going to get to where you're going.
Pretty good with that antenna. So, well, we'll look forward to having you again next week. And I'm sure you probably can participate some of the other nets that are around the area, and hopefully we'll catch you then. But yeah, you ever get over this way, stop in and see us.
All right, guys, before I let you go, it seems like they're clear of the frequency now. I think we're done. Before I let you go,
Great. Well, I hope you enjoy your trip to Vegas.
Well, maybe not.
I don't think anybody's really not enjoyed that. So have a safe trip, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you or hearing from you.
All right, yeah, they're cleared off. All right, so anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Please check out our other channel, Starship After Dark, and also Scuffed Radio, and at Carlotta Alata. We have 4 channels that broadcast out of Starship Studios here, or are affiliated with us in some way. So check those other channels out.
W8KZT. Are you in listening, Tim?
Yeah, they're going to keep going. I'm going to leave this on for a little while. Also, we've got 2 live streams going up. We got the 7.2 going out live on After Dark, and on this channel we've got the SSTV, the slow scan TV, and you can actually see the images as they're coming in internationally on the SSTV channel on 20 meters. So that's pretty cool. That's broadcasting right now on this same channel that you're on right now, Starship Adventures. Hey Victor, what's up? Did you see the storm weather? Yes. Yes, I have been watching. It looks like we're in for some pretty rough weather here in the southeast coming up tomorrow and the next day, the next 2 days. Let's see. I'm taking a quick peek here because I haven't looked at it since this morning. Let me look at the convective outlook. Wow, yes. We've got some moderate risk coming up over the next 2 days, guys. Tomorrow, Illinois, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, all going to be in the red zone. Also, I don't know. There's a bunch of area there, all up through the Midwest as well. Areas as far left as Kansas. Areas as far right as the Appalachian Mountains, the Smoky Mountains. So it's a large swath, with the worst of it being right around Illinois and Kansas. We will probably be doing some live weather coverage tomorrow. I can guess. I don't know. Probably. I can assume. Let's see here. And then the following day looks really bad for tornadoes, and it looks like it's going to be eastern Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama is going to be the 3 states that are going to be under the 4 out of 5 threat range, which is very high. I mean, you rarely see it this high this time of year. So this is going to be a fairly significant storm over the next 2 days. So tomorrow it's a Midwest thing. Tennessee, Illinois, Western Kentucky, and then the following day, Saturday, it looks like it's going to be eastern Louisiana, just about all of Mississippi, and almost all of Alabama is going to be in the severe area there, the fairly high risk area. So yeah, there is that. All right, I guess that's about it, guys. Everybody, have a good one out there. This has been the Cape Coral Gabfest on Starship Adventures, and we will try to carry this net every week, whether I'm hosting the net or not, to try to put this in front of as many people as possible. There we go, 46 minutes, guys. Have a good one out there. My name is Ian. This is Starship Adventures. I hope to see you on the next adventure.